want to look at working in this wall box format. Louise Nevelson is an artist who works this way. There are many artists that work this way. This wall box is a really cool way to work. So we're going to make one-sided 3D work next. And so what I want you to do is start with kind of like a proposal. All right, so I want everybody to find a couple different size boxes and think about how you can control that space inside. All right, so this is negative space right now. And what a wall box does, it gives you a smaller space to kind of control. It's hard to compete with a whole room sometimes. So this like delineates some space that you can then control. So, you know, what even happens if you just put in a simple thing like that? Well, it can change depending on where you put it, how you put it in here. You put it in here at an angle, right? You can put it in here up top. You can put it in here at an angle this way, at an angle this way, right? There's all kinds of different things you could do with this simple shape and different places to put it in this box to make it appear different. And then of course, right, if a bigger shape in a smaller box, it's going to deal with that space differently. Sometimes combinations of forms, like this one here I cut out, right, or combinations of shapes will almost make you think of a form if you kind of lay them in here together or opposite each other, right? Or there's movement in that way. If I cut out another one that was exactly like that and mirrored it, it would give this U shape, right? But this is the remnant from that. But I could position these in different locations again at different depths to kind of play off of each other, right? What happens in all those instances. So you can kind of peg these together with some tape, whatever you want. The other thing that you could do, of course, is you could mock something up where you use a little bit of clay. And so maybe you're taking, you know, I want you to hand your hands in because we need to get them dry and fired. But maybe you end up playing around with some sort of reveal of something that's a little bit more realistic, right? Maybe your wall box is working some situation that's a little bit more like this, right? Where you're like, oh, you know, I know how to make a hand, or I know how to make something look realistic. I'm going to build something and then kind of hide it in there. Or maybe I'll show you in these coming weeks how to make a sphere, right? What happens if you make a clay sphere and set it in this box? You know, how different is it if it's about to roll out, right? Whoa, but you would attach it to the box. So we'll talk about different things that we can do, but, you know, how could you incorporate this with that? But for right now, what I want you to do is I want you to mock up a couple of ideas, right? A couple of ideas, maybe 2 different size boxes of what you could do. Could just be with cardboard slabs, could be with 3-dimensional forms that you've made up. But this is the format that we're going to work in for the next assignment. All right, so dream up something good.